Let's be real about conspiracies.
Sure.
Oh, this
Conspiracies.
this this gonna be that episode, huh?
I'm kind of
Yep.
shocked we haven't had this title already.
We haven't.
Mm-mm.
Much as we throw that word out there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I would assume that this already happened. This is
At least
conspiracy like
twice.
part 4.
Right. But this will be part one. So let's get to it.
Cool. Well, opening up with conspiracies, man, I think it's time for us to go ahead and unveil one of the biggest conspiracies of the world, if not at least in the country, but I think it's the world, is our COVID vaccine and what's going on with that. So Tuke and I have a discussion to debate, and I'm just really all for all players becoming vaccinated to play in the NBA. And I know San Francisco is having that happen, New York as well, which is keeping some athletes away from not only practice, but also games that they'd have to sit out as well. When I think about the COVID vaccine and having to get vaccinated, I recall the numbers that people that have been vaccinated have not died from the shot. But I do know that their numbers are continuing to increase for people that have not gotten vaccinated from COVID-19. And so it would behoove you not to get vaccinated. I think that's definitely a need. And when you think about vaccinations and the overall effect of it all, I know you don't have to always get the flu shot all the time. I get that part, but the flu is not really killing people in the way the numbers of COVID-19 has been doing these past year and a half, 2 years. But what I want to bring home to us now before I turn over to Tuke is that when you're vaccinated, you have a greater opportunity to advance your life as opposed to those that are not vaccinated. And then also on that, I am a parent. And so being a parent and being away from my children because of not being vaccinated hurts. And so if there's a player that's going to bring that, or with a player in, I don't know, I'm going to say Utah, so to speak, and I'm in Utah and I get COVID-19, then I can't see my children. I'm not living in a bubble because of that. And so COVID-19, the vaccination shot is your best chance and opportunity to outlive not only the Delta variant, but other variants that are coming around as well. And we want to have long, successful lives. And if that means taking the vaccination shots, then let's take the shots, fellas. We're at 95%. Last time I checked at the NBA, that 5% that are missing, some key athletes, Andrew Wiggins being one, and Kyrie Irving being another, that is not yet taking the shots or probably will not. But in that, I do turn it over to my counterpart, to take it away.
Appreciate everything you just said, Shitty. Of course, we had the topic of wanted to talk about this earlier this week, and once I just really sat down, I wanted to just put all my thoughts together, right? Because even though I am unvaxxed, I'm not anti-vax, so I wanted to make sure I get my points across is the best way I could. So just bear with me, because every time we talk about vaccines or something, hey, stand back. Y'all have y'all beliefs, I have mine. But if this is an episode for me to display my thoughts, then damn it, I'm about to. So if you think about the country we live in, which was founded off of violence, lies, and death, we can talk about 9/11 and how something is off, and now all the files are being released, and you're seeing the truth in that. We can talk about Hurricane Katrina and New Orleans people that tell you, hey, someone right about that shit. We can take Memphis, for example, where we could have had our first black president and Dr. Martin Luther King, but we saw what happened with Dr. King. So what I feel like is going on right now is that we're seeing the biggest misuse of power that we've ever seen. Like I said, I'm unvaxxed, but my problem isn't people telling me to be vaxxed. It's the fact that you're trying to mandate it in certain aspects of people's lives for a virus that A, has a 98% survival rate, B, the rush vaccines allows them to get COVID, which is, I believe, where the different variants come from, and C, started really out of nowhere. And because of the help of the NBA, that's where we are here. That's why we're here now. The one word I like to throw out here is leadership. The pandemic literally stopped the world from spinning during President Trump's tenure, who y'all know how I feel about President Trump. He's the biggest, best marketer ever. And now because of failed leadership and because Rudy Gobert touched some mics, now we have Biden's administration who's only marketing to defeat COVID-19 is to get a shot. What about going out and exercising? What about going out and getting some sunlight? What about going out and saying, hey, let me get off my butt and actually do something? When if the stats don't show it, 80% of the people that's in the hospitals right now are obese to have COVID. So that's letting you know right now something is off. So let me go ahead and bring it back to sports because we are a sports podcast. We talk about Adam Silver, who has ran everything pretty well until now. I believe in him and I still do. However, this is the time to make your stand to go with the players instead of going against them. The reason I say that is because, like I said, Sheedy, you said that the best way to beat COVID-19 is to vax. And like I just said, what about other remedies? What about, getting that sunlight, getting the vitamin C, what about vitamin D, getting, herbs and different things like that? We hadn't seen any of that in the media. But now we're seeing more vaccine shots than we seeing Shaq and Snoop Dogg commercials. You know what I'm saying? Like some still feels off. And, as far as the players, the Kyrie Irvings, the Andrew Wiggins, the players that won't play, if they don't play this year, take a year off. Take a year off. We saw how we just transitioned from literally the bubble to now to shout out to Mikhail. Hey, shout out to Mikhail to now. So I'm gonna end like this because we have, vaccinated people, non-vaccinated, whatnot. Let's say a person has season tickets, right? How long does their vaccine cards last? Because we know if you get the vaccine, you still can get COVID. In my opinion, you're probably more likely to get COVID than an unvaxxed person. That's just me. How long would their COVID cards last? How long will it take, if you go and get a negative test? Can you still use that same negative test 2 weeks from now, a month from now? So I think that's going to be a tedious thing for somebody who's trying to go to games, to like, the Californias, the New Yorks, and even Memphis now who are mandating vaccines to get into theirs. Like, how long will it become a thing to where people like is becoming enough? So I end by saying this, man. Since the pandemic, y'all know, like I said, I'm unvaccinated. I'm not anti-vax, but I'm pro, there are better ways to cure yourself with COVID-19. Some fell off. It came up quicker than, a lot of people think. And I just really, at the end of the day, urge people to do what's best for them. But for the NBA and people to mandate a shot that's actually making people worse, in my opinion, that's bullshit. So that's all I got to say about that.
Thank you, brother. Mrs. Cap, when you're ready, we can definitely talk about that. Want to give it a moment for our other brothers to weigh in. We'll start with Cap since his wife is there, and then move on to Scott.
So do I weigh in on whose side I'm on, or
you can do both? Whose side you on, or like how you feel about it, and all together.
Of course, I'm more on Sheedy's side, but I kind of understand where Tuca's coming from on the standpoint of the mandates of it, especially like with the NBA. I feel like if you got mandated, it should be mandated everywhere. I don't think it should just be New York and San Francisco area. Hey, if you're not vaccinated, you can't play. Like, if it's gonna be like that, it should be like that the whole league. It shouldn't be just different cities, in my opinion. But different states do different things, so really can't do anything about that. But that's how I feel on that standpoint. But I am vaccinated. My wife is a nurse, so I'm following. This case, I follow her lead. With the information she knows.
That's your wife anyway, so you got to do what you got to do with that.
Yeah, but like I said, she's actually went to school for it. Unlike Kyrie said, he don't want to list the doctors who've been in school 12 years. But I saw people on Twitter disputing that, saying, well, you trusted the doctors when you got surgery on your injury, so now you don't trust them now. So there's a little hypocritical right there. So, but I just go by the information I'm giving. They say get the vaccine, you're more likely not to catch it. If you do catch it, you're less symptoms. Hey, I just want to be healthy. That's life I want to live. Took did say something in the group early in the week when he first brought up Kyrie. He said, all of us are God-fearing men, so we should be okay. That's exactly spot on. So,
Yeah, I'll agree with majority of what was said in regards to something that Took said as far as coming up with other alternatives. I think there have been alternatives that have been put out there, but the reason why we're in the state in which we are now is because people aren't wearing masks. That was the simplest and easiest thing for people to do. And people did not do that. So that's why I think we're now in the state of like, okay, now we have to get like COVID shots. There's a booster shot that's now come about. So I mean, I'm for the vaccine. I'm for the vaccine for the simple fact that I have a daughter. I want to do my best to, try to be as well as I can around her. I don't want her to get sick. Like just a baby alone, just getting like a simple cold it's already it's scary enough. So I'm definitely going to do everything I can. So if that means just me just getting a COVID shot, whether I believe it or not, I'm going to do it for the sake of her. I mean, Dr. Fauci literally just came out with these stats that you're 8 times more likely to test positive if you aren't vaccinated, 41 times more likely to be hospitalized, and 57 times more likely to be compared if you aren't vaccinated. So those are, in my opinion, are really staggering stats. In my opinion, again, if you don't want to be vaccinated, then that's fine. You do you. But there at least been alternatives that's been put out there, so we aren't in the situation where we are now. People just have to at least at the end of the day wear masks. And I don't think I think in my opinion the NBA is doing a good job about it. They're trying to mandate it as best as they can. They're trying to look out for the health and safety of not just other players but fans as well too. And so again, it's not saying that you necessarily have to get the shot, but you at least have to do your part in making sure that everyone around you is well. So this is a pretty interesting conversation. We can definitely talk about it another time, but I mean, I'm for the vaccine. I'm definitely for everybody at least doing their part, so that way we can get away from all of this wearing a mask and being 6 feet apart, having to test negative before you go into like a sporting event or anything like that. I just want to get to a point where we aren't having to deal and talk about this all the time.
Thank you, brother. And then we'll do closing remarks to start with Tuke, and then myself to close out, and then we'll move on.
As far as this COVID thing, great points, guys. Like I said, I put in a group me, like y'all are God-fearing men. Whatever happens is gonna happen. Just stay safe. But my biggest fear is that the people that are vaccinated are being poisoned in a way. And with all these booster shots and this and this and that you're gonna have to take is like it's becoming too much, and with this vaccine, everything is becoming so politicized to where it's like, it feel like I'm in a war right now. It feel like I'm in a mental war with people about whether I'm vaccinated or not. Like we live in a world where people can literally use what kind of phone you got as a method to, treat you right. If you got an Android, they're gonna treat you like shit. If you got an iPhone, they're gonna treat you like a good person. So if you unvax, imagine how they're going to treat you to a world that's seeing that if you get vaccinated, that's the only way to defeat this virus. So again, anybody listening, anybody watching, to you guys, I love y'all. Just stay safe out here, and just stay safe out here.
Yeah, let me run with that. Stay safe. No matter what your belief is in regards to getting the vaccination or not, a mask should be worn. Because you don't know what's going on out there in the world. And just a few things I want to close with, some things that I heard, and then we'll move on. I know you talked about, there are 80% of them are people that have COVID are obese as well. One, they need to start losing some weight. And I'm gonna move on from there. But also trying different remedies as well. I know personally I did, and I think some others may have as well. It's more than just a shot. I was taking like emergency every day. And even like when I'm sure Mrs. Cap was probably taking emergency, like just things to help out. Like you said, to your point, too, like you got to have vitamin C. Yeah, I completely agree. Whether or not, you're vaccinated or not, you need to have that within your diet, having a multivitamin. And just speaking about that as well, kudos to those first responders that are taking care of COVID-19 because, you don't, when this first started, you need to know what to expect, right? And they have to be on the front lines, having vaccinated and possibly going home with that, that's hard. And so the more of us that are quote unquote vaccinated, the easier their job will be. And I also think about, and I'm breaking this down to like a more level for me. Kyrie, Andrew Wiggins, and anyone else that has kids, your kids get dropped off at the school or have caregivers. The only way that us as educators or caregivers can even do our job is if we have to get vaccinated. There is no choice for us. So it was mandated for us, educators, especially in particular states, to be vaccinated to keep our jobs. And I stand by that. That's fine with me because, again, I don't want to go home and give something to my kids, nor do I want to give anything to anyone else's kids. But even if I'm not vaccinated or not, the rule of the mask needs to be, to your guys' point, rule that's around the entire nation. Just in a few cities is not good enough. We cannot beat this alone. We'll beat this together. Whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, I stand with you too, no matter what. And I pray that everything was going to be okay when we get through this. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's just how many of us can see that light and how many of us are willing to work to get to that light. And that's all I have for our Real Talk segment, Mrs. Cap. And others, you're right. We do need another segment with this, which means School and Machine needs to come back immediately. Turn over to Cap.
I love to help out too.
Bingo. Wish you had the bell.
My fault.
Oh, man. That was a real good one, man. See, social media, Twitter, you actually can have a respectable conversation, even while disagreeing. Agree to disagree. Like, man. Whew. All right. So it's Tunica Trevor time. And as y'all can see, Mr. Trevor ain't here. Condolences to him and his family as he's at the funeral. So he did create a video for us to watch. So let me share my screen.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Hold on, give me 1 second. John didn't share like I wanted it to. There we go.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your guy, Tunica Trevor, and as you can plainly see, I'm not live on the Let's Be Real podcast. I do apologize. They have a prior family engagement.
The sound, I don't hear the sound.
Last week with Clemson and North Carolina State.
Okay, so I can be
barely, and I do mean barely, covering the over-under, which was set at 48. And then, of course, the Falcons knocking off the Giants last week. Those were my only two, which brings my record now to 9-7. So still over 500, still winning more than losing. But that was last week, and this is this week. So we're going to start with college football, as I always do. So if you can, please get these bets in as soon as possible at the timing of this recording. First and foremost, I'm looking at Cincinnati as a 2-point favorite at Notre Dame. Cincinnati has been on the roll since that last season against Georgia, where they had them on the ropes, but unfortunately they were unable to come up with the win. They've had impressive win after impressive win after impressive win after impressive win. On the other hand, Notre Dame has looked great as well, but unfortunately they can't run the ball, and Cincinnati has a really, really, really good defense, highlighted by their secondary. We don't know who the quarterback is going to be for Notre Dame, and essentially this is a big game for both Cincinnati and Notre Dame, as the loser of this game probably is going to be out of the college football playoff, even if they do run the table after this game, if they were having to take a loss for one of these teams. Cincinnati just looks like the better team here. So give me Cincinnati at that -2 as a 2-point favorite there. Next, we're going to shift it out west to Stanford. It's funny, I'm betting on Stanford 2 weeks in a row. But I'm not betting against them this week, though, against the University of Oregon. Oregon has not looked back since their huge win at Ohio State just a couple of weeks back. They're a 7.5-point favorite against Stanford. Oregon is just that more talented on offense, and they can put up points. So I could definitely see Oregon winning this one by 10. So give me the Oregon Ducks there. Before I do my local bets of the week, I'm just going to go ahead and switch over to my NFL bets of the week. Of course, the matchup that everyone has really been waiting on, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New England Patriots. I will provide my pick for this game when we get to that segment. But the Bucs right now are a 7-point favorite. Definitely looking to take the Bucs here by a touchdown. Tampa Bay is 5-1 against the spread this season, and they are 5-0 against the spread, coming off of a loss. And then, of course, you got Tom looking. You know he had this game circled the moment the schedule came out. New England, on New England side of things, they're not looking too good on offense, especially with Mac Jones and things of that nature. And the question is going to be, can New England's offense score enough points to keep it within 7? I don't think so. I think this will kind of be, it could be along the lines of 20-13 or possibly a 30-23 type of deal for Tampa Bay. But give me Tampa Bay here to cover with that 7. Secondly, looking at the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers in an NFC West matchup. The over-under set right now at 52. Give me the under there. Seattle, for some reason, just laid a complete egg and just forgot how to play offense for like 2.5 quarters last week against the Vikings. They're a little banged up on their offensive line. Tyler Lockett is also banged up, but he's questionable. But we don't know if that's really going to make a difference. Of course, DK Metcalf is still on the shelf. On the 49ers side of things, Jimmy Garoppolo has not looked good at all this season. Their offensive line has been shaky all season as well. George Kittle is still out. And so this game could become very run heavy. So whoever's able to establish something on the ground would probably be best off. But 52, I would definitely take the under there. I don't think a lot of points is going to be scored by either team there. And now, local bets of the week. And to be honest with you, all of the local bets in the great state of Memphis and the state of Tennessee, all of them actually look good. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I'm going to rank from shaky to probably the best bet with these. So I'll start with kind of the shaky one. And I can't believe I'm doing this, but the Tennessee Vols, a 3-point underdog at Missouri. Here's 2-2. Yes, Tennessee is 2-2. The bad loss to Pitt. They lost to Florida last week. Tennessee can steal this game. And how they can steal this game is if they can establish an effective rushing attack at the quarterback position and the running back position. Missouri is dead last in the SEC in rushing yards per game. They're giving up 270 yards on the ground.
Dang.
If Tennessee can establish some sort of rushing attack and just play with the same effort that they kind of played with in that first half against Florida, I don't see why Tennessee can't cover this as a 3-point favorite or even win this game. Again, that one's shaky, but it's still pretty good. My in-between one, we're going to bring it back home to the state of Memphis with the Tigers. They're a 11-point favorite at Temple today. Well, not today. 11-point favorite against Temple. Memphis, as we all know, has a high-power offense. top 15 in yards per play on offense. Brandon Thomas is averaging 124 yards on the ground. Calvin Austin III is averaging just over 130 receiving. We know Memphis can put up points in bunches. What scares me is their defense, obviously, and that's always been the question. Of course, they did give up 50 on the road to Arkansas State. Granted, they still won the game, but that's kind of a cause for pause. But a touchdown and 2 field goals, I think Memphis can cover that. And plus, Temple is giving up more points than they're scoring as well. So look for Memphis to strike quick, strike often like they do on offense. And I have no issue with Memphis covering this 11-point spread. And my best local bet of the week will actually go to the Tennessee Titans. They're a 6-point favorite at New York against the Jets. The Titans are now looking to establish some kind of momentum coming off last week's win against the Colts, and of course the comeback win in Seattle against the Seahawks. I don't see anything from the Jets to make me think that they can keep this game within 6. So I'm definitely looking at the Titans to cover this easily. And that is it for your boy. So just to run things back, Bucks cover the spread against the Patriots. Seattle, San Francisco, under 52 points. For the college round, take Cincinnati as the 2-point favorite. Take Oregon as a 7.5-point favorite. And then your local pick of the week, your best one in my bet, take Tennessee, take the Titans, 6-point favorite, the Jets. It's your guy, Tunica Trevor. Peace.
I want to hear Sharky's response to that to the Tennessee pick. That's what I want to hear.
Which one?
Wait, which one? Yeah, exactly.
The Titans or the Jets? The Titans or the Jets?
They better cover. We still got Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry against the Jets. They better cover.
I will stay away from that one. That would be my only one that I'm like, I'll stay away from the game. I understand it's the Jets. I understand it's Zach Wilson, a rookie quarterback. He hadn't played well. The Jets just overall they've sucked for a long period of time. But one thing I think we all can attest to is anybody can be beaten on any given Sunday. Mm-hmm. And the Tennessee Titans are down. I'm not too familiar
with
the
Titans more than others
receiving core. But when you're down A.J. Brown and Julio Jones on the road,
watch the Colts game last week.
I would just stay away from that game. That's just honest opinion on that. I will stay away from that.
Hey, both were out last week, second half. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, here go this one. I'm saying, to me, I'm not like saying we can't get upset, but there's no excuse. There ain't like it's not because they're out. We got an excuse to lose to the Jets. Nah, we still got Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. I know. The Ryan Tannehill's top 10 quarterback like we had on our list. Top 10 quarterbacks throw to nobody just like he did last week. So do it again.
Yeah, got to show up
against a worse opponent. Do it again against a worse opponent. So, a couple things I took a note. He one Cincinnati being favored at Notre Dame.
Right, I saw that.
That's crazy. I see he stayed away from the super big games, the Arkansas, Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss.
I ain't touching that, man.
Yeah, smart man. Also, y'all know how bad Vanderbilt is, right? Can y'all imagine a team that's worse than Vanderbilt? That Vanderbilt would be 14.5-point favorites over today.
Nah.
Who?
UConn.
Oh, that. The only other program that's the only other program I said, okay, I can see that.
14.5-point favorite.
Even still, that's too high.
This is the same Vanderbilt team that lost by 20 at home to a FCS opponent. UConn is that bad to be 14.5-point underdogs. But
where's that game at? Is that Vandy or UConn?
Yeah,
Memphis, when they were in the same conference as Memphis was hanging 60 on them. I bet
they was. That was the easy game. But yeah, some other great games to take note of to just watch today. Like I mentioned, Georgia, Alabama, they come in on the 11. Florida, Florida plays Kentucky. Alabama, Ole Miss, to Lane Kiffin. Back in Tuscaloosa game. Who else? Auburn, LSU, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Oklahoma State, Baylor. This is a great day for college football. This is why we love the sport.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Agreed. October is like one of the best months, man. I said that last week, and I was standing on that hill, man. October has a lot of great sports, and even baseball. Baseball is doing some things as well.
Wow. So speaking of the sports, I am planning a blog in about next week or two. Most wonderful time of the year. So I'm kind of detail all the different sports going on in that blog. So before we get to the NFL segment, let's get to the promo. Welcome to Let's Be Real Media, a podcast network that provides your official game plan for sports, culture, and music. Headlined by the Let's Be Real podcast, featuring P. Shark, Scott Lido, Tel Shakir, Trevor, Sheedy, and Savage, and includes other podcasts like the I Don't Know Sports podcast by Savage, the Let's Tighten Up podcast by P. Shark, Scooting with Sheedy by none other, the name says it itself, Sheedy, Pittsburgh County podcast by Trevor, and Let's Talk About It by Uncle Mike. You can follow us on social media at LB Real Media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And as you can see, the website, go on the website, lbrealmedia.com to check us out. Thanks.
Hey, we need some air horns after that one, dog. That was nice.
Hey, man, you are a blessing with all this tech stuff you be doing, bro. Like, for real. Kudos to you for making that up, man. For real, Cap.
No problem. Air horns you asked for? Ah, man, y'all ain't making noise.
Did it vibrate? It vibrate.
There we go. Oh my God.
Right. Yeah. Just a candidate. Just a candidate. That's
a candidate. Not a man. These on yourself, brother.
All righty, man. So just as there's a good week of college football, there's also a really good slate of NFL games this week. We all did reasonably well on last week, but we won't harp on the past. We'll go into what's expected to the games that's expected to play tomorrow. There you go. So the game we're going to start with, which is a really, really good game, late afternoon game. The Arizona Cardinals are taking on the LA Rams. Both teams are undefeated. Both teams are led by quarterbacks that are, at least right now, favorites to win the NFL MVP, which is, of course, Kyler Murray and Matthew Stafford. So tell me who y'all got winning. If you want, you can tell me why as well.
So we're going to verse it around for you to go first this time, right? I heard what she said last
That's
episode.
fine. I'm comfortable with my.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, no. Call him out, Shark. Call him
Let's
out.
go.
Come on. Wait a minute, because he almost got away with
I'm
it
actually
again.
going to take the. I'm going to take the LA Rams with this game. The LA Rams offensively have looked miles ahead of where they looked last year, led by Jared Goff. Play calling is, I wouldn't say much better, but they're more straight up with what they want to do. There's not a lot of, tricks and trades that come with their offense. They're just going straight at it. They're telling Matthew Stafford, hit this receiver, hit that receiver, and he is hitting them. He has Cooper Kupp. He has Deshaun Jackson, which surprisingly he hadn't gotten hurt yet. They are really good offensively, so I'm actually going to pick the Rams to win this game. But I think it will be closer because Kyler Murray is playing really, really well. He again is also playing at an MVP level, so I think it's going to be close. But I think the Rams, just because their defense is a tad bit better than I won't say a tad bit, but I think their defense is going to make a few more plays than Arizona will.
Yeah, to your point about the Rams being a little bit better on defense, I think the one place that the Rams defense is better at is the secondary, as opposed to, I think their front sevens are kind of, you can kind of go either way with those, the Rams or the Cardinals, especially the way Cardinals played, week 1 and week 2. But this game is in Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. And if it's in LA, You gotta give me the Rams on this one. But I think, further on down the line, this does get a split, right, so to speak. And this is also our point earlier. I hope you guys been listening, man. We told you the NFC West is loaded with some great, talented teams. And so on any given Sunday, when these two teams or any teams are playing from the NFC West, you don't know what to really expect. But give me the Rams. Give me Sean McVay in that offense. Matthew Stafford, he even talked about on the Monday Night Football how some of his plays and play calls have been a little bit different, but he still has some things that still work for him. And that's huge when you're going to the type of offense of Sean McVay. And those receivers are not stopping at all. And so give me the Rams. I don't know if you want the points, but I think might be at least 10 points just because of if the Cardinals have a chance, it'll be a late chance. But I think that defense, Jalen Ramsey, and they got somebody, the safety as well, back there as well for the Rams. It's going to stop all that.
As much as I would like to choose the Cardinals, because y'all know coming into the season, I listened to my brother about football, and he has Kyler Murray winning MVP, and what we're seeing from him now has been nothing short of outstanding. But we're talking about the Rams, who are still off a half of being Tom Brady in LA. Rams who may have, I guess, because we got the number 1 defense in the league, they may have the number 2 defense in the league. So give me the Rams to pull off a very, very close one. But because they got home court advantage, that's the only reason I'm picking.
Home court advantage. That's what's up.
Home field. Man, I'm ready for basketball season, man. Y'all know what's up with me. I'm ready for basketball season.
Playing arena football at Staples Center.
Hey, coming soon.
Hey, but man, give me the Rams. Honestly, I mean both teams are good. Of course, remember I had all NFC West teams making playoffs in our season predictions, but the Cardinals been squeaking by the last couple weeks. They needed a shank field goal by Minnesota to win that game because they probably should have lost. Like, I'm the type of person that's woulda, coulda, shoulda. So yeah, that 3-0. They won the games, but that Minnesota game, golly, they had to come back on Jacksonville of all teams. They were down at halftime in that game and came back and took care of business. So the Rams are I know they had to squeak by the Colts some. Carson Wentz injured both his ankles on the same play. But the Rams look really good. They are at home. Matthew Stafford, we saw that game against the Bucs last week. Matthew Stafford and the Rams like they're on a mission. So give me the Rams at home in this one.
Yeah, and to your point, I think to y'all's point about the Rams playing the Bucs last week. Granted, the Bucs secondary is probably one of the worst in the league right now, honestly. But still, right now the Rams are playing really, really good football. We'll roll out our power rankings next week, but they got to be at the top of everybody's power rankings list, and at least a huge favorite to right now make it to the NFC Championship game, and really to make it to the Super Bowl the way that they're playing on offense. Sean McVay is a different type of dude. He's a different type of cat. And if you saw his energy, like, when the Bucs missed a field goal, I was just like, dang, like that's dope. And I'm pretty sure any football player would want to play with a coach with that type of energy. So, like I said, we'll roll out the power rankings on next week. So we'll transition to a game that's gotten plenty of talk on debate shows, whether that's on ESPN or Fox. Tom Brady is taking his Tampa Bay Buccaneers to New England to face his former coach. So you got greatest of all time quarterback, greatest of all time coach going against each other. This is a game that I'm not sure if you would have told me 4 or 5 years ago we would have ever been able to see. But the Bucs are taking on the Patriots, and so tell me who y'all got winning. Oh, sorry, I'm actually going first.
No, we can. I'll say we can reverse it. I say we can reverse it. It ain't got to be every single time. Just like each
that's fine. No, I'm going with my picks. I'm going to go first every single time. That's fine.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm going with the Bucs in this game. I think Trevor may have said it, but Tampa Bay did lose last week, and it wasn't an embarrassing loss, but because Tom Brady still played well, but that defense did not play well at all. There were open receivers left and right. I mean, the Rams did exactly what they did, anything and everything they wanted to do against the defense. And the Patriots are led by rookie quarterback Mac Jones, who has not looked well. I don't expect him to look that much better, led by Todd Bowles' defense for the Tampa Buccaneers. I just don't see this really being a close game. Tom Brady likes to take things personally. I like that about Tom Brady. LeBron James does the same thing as well. So for the simple fact that The relationship between him and Belichick, regardless of whatever they want to say, didn't end on good terms. I think Tom Brady is going to take this game very personally. I'm looking for the Bucks to run it up. So give me the Bucks in this game.
So, Cab, you talk about woulda, shoulda, coulda type guy, right? And if you look at the Patriots, they're 1-2, but they woulda, shoulda, coulda been 0-3. Their only win was against who? The Jets. And they barely squeaked past the Dolphins. And so I don't even know. The publicity here is because it's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick finally reuniting themselves. But besides that, to your point, Skylar, Tampa Bay just took a mighty L. I don't care what Tom Brady's game was. They took a L, a hefty one. And Tom Brady is going to respond like he always does after he loses. I believe he's historically the best quarterback after a loss ever in his record since you have at least 25 starts. So give me Tom Brady. This is a breeze. It shouldn't even be on Sunday night football. They can put another game up there for all I'm concerned. But because of the, you know what I mean, and who it is, I guess he gets Sunday night permission. But this is a blowout. I don't even see if they can even. It should be at least a 21-point beatdown, and they should be passing 6 by, I don't know, halfway through the second quarter.
Y'all want to know the irony in all this, right? Who's the one quarterback that Tom Brady has never beat? Would y'all like to answer?
Mac Jones.
I was just
Nah. You're very close. You're very close.
I know who you going with.
Ooh, answer.
Cameron. Yeah, Cameron.
That's the irony in all of this. Tom Brady has never beaten Cam Newton. And now he don't play for the Patriots. So y'all know who I'm rolling with. Give me the Bucks. One thing I can't wait for, and I'm going to send this part to my mom and brother. I want to know who they going for. Because y'all know they die hard Patriots fans, but they asses rooting for the Bucks more than the Patriots nowadays. So this one will be funny. Give me the Bucks by at least 21. Pass some sticks, man.
So you mean diehard Tom Brady fans then?
No, they were Patriots fans, I thought. But you know, when some people don't lose and they don't know how to lose right. So it's like, let me go to another player. Let me cheer for players, which in ways go to teams. That's why all that talk in my brother with the group meet. That's why all that crap came from. So yeah, he called himself being a Kyler Murray fan, which means he's a Cardinals fan, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there.
Gotta love sibling rivalries. Gotta love them.
I love my brother. I love my mama too.
All right, man. Give me the Bucks. I don't know. 21. I know Tom Brady out the show point, but Bill Belichick is too. So I ain't gonna exactly say 21. He ain't about to get 21 piece at home. Or he do. If he do, he probably retire.
You better sign Cam Newton again.
But of course they don't have the offense to torch the Bucks secondary. Because not only is Mac Jones not so much just doing bad, but who is he doing the ball to? Titans fans who were mad about Jonnu Smith leaving and getting paid all their money. I'm glad we ain't paying their money. That's all I got to say on that one. I saw a play last week. That boy dropped holding the ball at the pick six. I said,
and you're glad he's not with you because he might give you a pick six for the Jets this week.
Right,
exactly.
I see what you do. For their money he got. Because it took less. But that's my pick.
No, and Chuck, I think you brought up a good point. Like, it's hard to imagine because I think at the end of the day, you know, the Bucks are at least going to put up 28 points. They're going to at least score 4 touchdowns. So then you have to ask yourself, are the Patriots capable of putting up that same amount of points? Are they capable of keeping up with Tom Brady? And I think it'll be close for the first half, and I think Tom Brady's going to come back out in the second half, and I think he's just going. I think they're gonna bust the doors wide open. So, with that being said, there was before I move on. Shitty, you said the Bucks, right? Okay, cool.
This is a clean sweep.
Okay, cool, perfect. All right, cool. So we clean sweep on two games so far. We'll see how this last game goes. So Sharky, you can go right after me because we got a little time on the podcast left. So I'm gonna just make my pick and get out the way. Hopefully, Sharky, you can do the same thing, and then we just gonna let Tuca and Sheedy do their thing too. So the Carolina Panthers are taking on the Dallas Cowboys in a pretty interesting game. I wish this probably would have been the Sunday night game, but that's not my job.
Likewise.
So I'm going to pick the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. I'm a little fearful of the strength of schedule that the Carolina Panthers have played. That's my cause for concern. They also just lost. I know y'all just picked up C.J. Henderson from the Jags, but losing the cornerback that y'all just lost. I'm not sure if C-Mac is playing. That's the other cause for concern that I have as well.
He's not.
Surprisingly, the Dallas Cowboys defense has played pretty damn well. Outside of even though they have the injuries that they have on defense, Michael Parsons has looked every bit of Michael Parsons that we saw Sharky at the Cotton Bowl a couple years ago against Memphis. So with that being said, I'm going to make my pick, get out the way. Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
Sorry, Took, man. Y'all know one defense against
Jets.
Now, it gets a certain type of schedule. Y'all haven't played a offense like y'all about to see this Sunday. So that's a big test. I'm really interested to see that matchup. But yes, I am salty because Christian McCaffrey is on my fantasy team and he is on IR right now on my fantasy team. So give me the Cowboys.
No. Let's go Sheedy, then Took.
You said Cowboys versus Panthers. Yeah. I got the Cowboys. Knock knock. Who's there? 3-1. Cowboys. Knock knock. Who's there? 3-1. Panthers. I warned you last week because you brought up what's this 3-4 mean? It's going to mean your record's going to be 3-4 if you keep talking that crap. And we'll start with the first loss here at AT&T Stadium for you. To that point, man, like I said, I don't even know your schedule, who you play. It doesn't matter to me. We are going to take you by storm this week. You have no C-Mac. You don't have enough corners to defend us. Our defense isn't the best, but we're decent. But you guys don't have enough on defense to stop our offense. Let's put it like that. And like he said, Michael Parsons is playing out of this world without Tank Lawrence. Just a reminder when he comes back, what he'll do. And we got Randy Gregory coming back as well, healthier this week. Hey, man, I don't know who you're running the ball with, but I ain't worried about that either. Now, passing, Panthers, y'all might have us on that one, right? I'll give you that. We like to give up a lot of big plays at times. This looks like our defense. But give me 14 points to beat y'all. And I said it here first. Cowboys, 3-1.
Shitty. It bothers me that I love you as a brother, but right now you're not being a brother's keeper, right? Like, shout out to your ship, you know what I'm saying, who ironically just came and made an appearance on the episode, right? But this is what I saw. So you're not being your brother's keeper right now, brother. What are you doing? You just picked against me. You just picked against your actual line brother. And I know how much being a brother means. So, I mean, if you're going to pick against us, karma is going to be a witch with a capital B for you. And that's all I got to say. Even though we are without Christian McCaffrey, all joking aside, I do believe that this is going to be a breakout game for Sammy D. And, as Stephen A say, the Cowboy ship is down to the wreck sooner or later. This is one of those games where, like, if the Carolina Panthers beat y'all without Christian McCaffrey, it's back to the same old for y'all Cowboys, my brother. So you know who I'm rolling with, man. I ain't even got to say it, but you not being your brother's keeper right now, it's kind of disappointing.
That was cold, bro. Oh man,
I was not expecting it at all. So, all right. So basically, Sharky had the Cowboys as well too. So then we also have it on tape. Trevor's picks were Rams, Bucks, and Cowboys as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of us had the exact same picks across the board. Took was Rams, Bucks as well, along with everybody else, but he went with the Panthers. So maybe he could use that. That could be the tiebreaker for the week. But yeah, again, really good slate of games. There was a lot of good games on the slate for tomorrow that we couldn't, of course, discuss because we aren't for sake of time. So It'll be pretty interesting. Are y'all willing to put a wager on the table before I move on?
Hell no, I ain't betting Sheeta no more.
Ah,
That's how I end up
Hey,
losing.
man.
Like I just
He
said,
not-
karma. What I just said about karma. Anytime I bet against Sheedy, I lose. Let's just keep it. Let's just keep it in my hands right now.
And you see, he hasn't ate tuna in 2 years. So yeah, we won't.
Right. They don't sell tuna no more. I
That's
told
my
you I would have
point.
done it. They don't sell tuna no more. So I guess that's the healthy karma. That's
That's
healthy
tough.
karma, I guess. You know, when I come to Dallas, bro, if you want to make me a tuna sandwich, bro, when I come to Dallas and visit my mama, bro, I would eat the tuna sandwich, bro, if that make you feel better.
I'll have the chicken of the sea ready for you, brother.
Say less.
That's tough.
Sure
All right. Well, in bigger news, the lineup for the halftime show for this upcoming Super Bowl has been announced, and I will say this is probably one of the better lineups that they had in quite some time. So artists that they got performing, of course, Dr. Dre, Eminem. I guess he's coming out of wherever the heck he's been there for the past couple of years. Mary J. Blige, she's a GOAT. She's on there. Appreciate it, Kev. Snoop Dogg is on there, and of course, Kendrick Lamar is the headliner. So I'm very excited to watch this Super Bowl, regardless of what the matchup is, because of the halftime show. Real quick before we move on to the final segment of the day, what y'all think about this one?
All right, let's go. Been waiting for this type of halftime trio. Or where is this? 5 people? I don't know what's the number for 5 people. I've been waiting for this since
It's starting 5, brother.
Since
Come on, pause. Why does Eminem look like Nick Wright? That looks just like Nick Wright. I'm like,
real talk. I didn't know that was Eminem when they first showed this photo.
Man.
I was like, who is that?
That does not look like Eminem. That looks like Nick Wright.
And look, Dr. Dre kind of look like Thanos.
Yeah, man, my man zoomed in on him. I mean, he got the black. When you go to the barber shop and you try to get the extra black in there, that's what he got right there. Damn.
That man look like Nick Wright, bro.
Nick Wright and Thanos. They can put the Super Bowl down.
Oh man, that was funny.
But nah, y'all know me. I love it, bro. It's about time. I know when Jay-Z agreed to start working with the NFL last season, I know that things were about to change. As far as Super Bowl halftime shows, and like the game is in Inglewood, so it's like it's only right that you bring out the best that the city has to offer. So shout out to all 5 of them, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have some more people with them. So shout out to them.
Yeah. We just, to your point earlier about Eminem just needs to go ahead and play Lose Yourself real quick, because I'm sure that's going to be out there. And then after Eminem's done, let Snoop come out there and smoke it out, right? And then let the rest just do what they do. I think
you gonna smoke out the Super Bowl?
What?
Oh!
Wasn't he a part of some performance where he was smoking anyway?
Yeah, is it marijuana legal in LA?
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it is. I think
so. Look to that to happen. But yeah, this, like everyone's point has already said, man, this is a great lineup. I think it's going to just bring people back into watching football and the Super Bowl itself. Super Bowl is still one of the most televised sporting events that our nation has. But I think their numbers just went up just because of the halftime show. To you guys' point, it doesn't matter the 2 teams that get lined up. I mean, I say this, but I know it's not going to happen. It could be the Bengals versus the Giants, and people are going to watch it for the halftime show. But we all know those 2 teams are not going to make it at all. So I digress.
Hey, shout out to the Bengals though.
Shout out to the
Bengals. Looking good.
They're going to surprise somebody in the AFC North.
She already did. Already did.
You need somebody else. Hey, Father Petty. He took you guys. I think you already said.
Yeah. No, I'm good, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, it's time for your board. I got one right off the top. Right off the top, Twitter, come have a seat. Come have a seat. That was the most craziest application that I've ever had to fill out to try and get a verification. And I got denied in less than an hour. How y'all gonna tell me I don't know if I'm real or not? Man, y'all boy, bro. Get out of here.
That's tough, man.
All I
That's
can
tough.
say is just try again next time, bro. Do some studying and try again next time.
Do some studying.
How long that app take you to do?
Man, it took a good 30 minutes.
No,
it's not. So it's not long list of stuff they asking. It's like you got to like search for stuff and like I'm like, bro, how did I see how GBB fam got on their writers. So apparently, writing is your best bet, unless you work for like a large company or something.
Mm-hmm.
I got one if we don't have one right now. Speaking of Twitter, I just scrolled past this. This might have been last night or early this morning. There's a final list, given a final 25 under 25 list is up. And I'm not going to go through all the names particularly, but I just want to say this. They have Jamal Murray at number 15. Let me just name a few people ahead of him that I don't believe need to be ahead of him. Let's start with his teammate, Michael Porter Jr.
Hold on.
He's at
Jamal Murray still under 25.
I'm at that may be more.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So you got Michael Porter Jr. Ahead of him. OG from the Tampa Bay Raptors is at number 11.
They were Tampa Bay Raptors last year.
Tampa Bay Raptors. Now LaMelo Ball, you only had one season.
I mean,
you've had one season.
Have you seen him in the playoffs?
Exactly.
It's coming. Patience.
You seen Jamal Murray in the playoffs?
Patience.
Exactly.
Patience. No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and so like I mean, there's some other names on here, but I'll just stay there with those. But I mean, first of all, why did you even put your teammate? Why is his teammate even ahead of him when his teammate did nothing to help them win a game against the Suns when they got swept? So I don't go with who just signed a mega deal for what, by the way. Too much money.
Yeah.
So the Nuggets are also bored.
I agree.
Was this an ESPN list? Was this an ESPN list? What kind of list was this?
Nah, it's Fox Sports.
Fox Sports. Oh, okay. They worse than ESPN. I got two of them. They kind of coincide with last week's segment's Flowers as well. We talked about we just talked about Eminem or Nick Wright, father, whoever, clone, doppelganger, or whatever. But he actually just opened up a restaurant in Detroit called Mom Spaghetti. You know, if you haven't seen the movie 8 Mile, which you should have by now, you know what the reference is. But now he actually just opened up the reference. So salute to him. I guess he was too bored with that. Also, I don't know if he was bored, but like I said, it's going on with the Flowers, man. Yo Gotti, who was now a part owner of the DC United soccer team. We gotta salute Yo Gotti, you know what I'm saying, for that. Like, you know, when we were freshmen in college, we saw him, you know, turn up, you know, the Memphis Madnesses and everything, and for him to come out and do his thing and now own a soccer team, you know, using that money to build generational wealth is outstanding. So salute to Yo Gotti.
Can I just add on to what you just said about Yo Gotti and the board part? Yo Gotti needs his flowers. Don't get me wrong. I'm a honorary Memphian, but your board comes from T.I. T.I., you want to go against Yo Gotti because you couldn't go against anyone else in the verses?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And people's like, and I saw that crap, and people like T.I. gonna kill him. T.I. got hits, but don't sleep on Gotti. Gotti got them club bangers now. Come on.
They ain't from Memphis.
They're gonna go head up, in my opinion. I don't think it's hard to pick a winner, though. That was the best matchup for T.I. For both of them, really. Because everybody's trying to pick Yo Gotti against Young Dolph, which would have been a smoke.
Yeah, now they wouldn't even got past round 3.
Yeah, I like Young Dolph.
Right.
Also, back to Flowers and Yo Gotti. Y'all saw.
Oh, I got one quick one.
Okay, hold on.
Go ahead, Sharky.
Wow.
I got an issue. It's worse on me.
It's your boy.
I just thought about it. I have an issue, and I think it's people that are bored. I have an issue with people or the Memphis fans that have taken an issue with the changing of the name of the Liberty Bowl. I don't understand why people are frustrated about it. Like, if anything, that's a good thing, right? Like now having like a partner that's over the Liberty Bowl to help with like, potentially a new stadium or like
Upgrade,
renovations to the
but
current stadium.
yeah,
Because the city of Memphis wasn't doing it. So be grateful, be happy that that somebody stepped up and is willing to put money into the city, that somebody was willing to, see the talent that's in Memphis and willing to, make the changes at the Liberty Bowl. Those people are bored. I'm sorry, I thought about the last
That's a
name.
good point, though. That's
yeah.
a good point.
People don't like change.
People
I ain't
don't.
gonna lie,
Yeah.
even when I first heard it, I was like, "What?" But still, like after thinking about it, I was like, "Bro, that's good. Like we're gonna get used to it."
Yeah, we still gonna call it the Liberty Bowl.
The name ain't the
Right.
best, but hey, if somebody's willing to put money into it. Like somebody's willing to invest in, an on-campus stadium. I doubt that ever happens, but if somebody's willing to at least help us out. So, like, I really wish people would stop complaining about any and everything.
Like I said, we still gonna call it the Liberty Bowl. So I mean,
Exactly,
what are we
nothing's
really
changed.
complaining about?
No. Or Gary Parrish talking about yesterday. It's called the Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. Anybody even say all that? But
I ain't never said Memorial Stadium.
Liberty Bowl natural game. That's all he could say yesterday. It's like nobody even say all that, man. But yeah, I was saying about Yo Gotti. Of course, he gave Moneybag Yo. Moneybag Yo. How much? Like $5 million or $1 million? 1.5 million for his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Rolex and stuff. So.
Hey, well deserved, man. When you got the #1 album to ever come out of the city of Memphis, you better show them love.
Mm-hmm. All right, that leaves it in for us today. Anybody got any last names?
Nope. Is my name showing? The Benz are on the clock. Everybody that is not aware, Ben Roethlisberger, Ben Simmons, they're on the clock. Well, it's more so the Philadelphia 76ers that are on the clock. But when I say people are on the clock or situations on the clock, that means it's going to happen. Ben Roethlisberger, I hope to God, is benched within the next, week or two because he looks terrible. Ben Simmons, I'm pretty sure is getting traded within the next 24 to 48 hours. He's on the clock as well. I'm done.
That's funny. The Ben's on the clock, but 48 hours, nah. They finna drag this one out, dog.
Yeah, I know it's October 2nd, but just kudos to Breast Cancer Awareness Month that's happening right now in October. I personally have, had some unfortunate members of my family pass away from that, so I do take this month very serious. Another month that we didn't really talk about as well that's passed. This is exactly why I got to get my bell back. Schooling with Sheedy with Hispanic Heritage Month is still in full swing right now, September 15th to October 15th. And so if you know somebody, give them kudos to that. And please know the history behind it too, before you just like, hey, happy Hispanic Heritage Month, and, do your history about it first as well, which should be coming to a show near you real soon. Schooling.
Nice. Of course, let's tighten up. Took a break because I was out of town last week. Hey, flying drones is fun, by the way, too. But yep, I'll be back next week with another guest. Just decided to put my takes on Twitter. My bold prediction or upset pick this week was the Vikings. Who had the Vikings play? I forgot. I cannot remember right now. The Vikings played somebody, but I had them upsetting whoever they played.
What time?
Hey man, come on, chill, bro.
What?
The Browns.
Yep, those
chill.
were
Big chill, bro.
Kirk Cuzzo. What happened to Cuzzo, man?
Kirk Cuzzo been dead since last year, dog. Come on.
Hey, he been killing this year. He been killing so far this year.
Shout out to Justin Jefferson and Thielen.
Don't sleep.
They ain't no.
Oh, good Thursday night game coming up. Sorry, I know that's random, but no,
About time.
Well, I mean, they've all been.
The last couple have been good though. It's just been the teams, the names.
Rams and Seahawks on Thursday night. Enjoy.
I don't feel like watching Seahawks choking the second half again. They done it 3 times now, bro. The Four scored like 6 points total in the second half this year. It's something about their second half offense, bro. I don't know what it is. Anyway, though, it's the end. Till next time, y'all.
Go Panthers! 4-0, baby.